You running drugs?
I'd rather die than tell you.
You're already a dead man.
You'll send your strangers packing. I will.
You were in a hole, and so was I.
They want us.
Everett picks up a gun. Beulah's biggest secret is one sentence away from destroying her own family. Rob Will thinks he already won, and he has no idea he is already finished. Rip knows exactly where the body is buried, and Waken already handed the sheriff the murder weapon. But none of that matters anymore, because one man just stepped out of the shadows, and he built this entire ranch on lies. El Padrino is not a nickname, it is a warning, and by the end of this finale, somebody on that ranch is not walking away alive. Every secret on Ten Petal Ranch has been leading to one name, and that name is finally stepping into the light. Mariano Reyes is not a side character anymore. He is not the man who quietly disappeared from Waken's life years ago and left behind nothing but a bad memory. The finale trailer confirms something far bigger and far more dangerous. Mariano has been running the entire illegal cattle smuggling operation that has secretly funded this ranch from the very beginning. Every deal Beulah made, every dollar that kept this empire standing, all of it traces back to him. And that changes everything we thought we understood about who actually holds power on that land. Think about what this means for Waken. He made one phone call from a cemetery, standing among the dead, reaching out to the most dangerous man in his life because he was out of options. That single decision has now pulled Mariano's men directly onto the property. This was not a reunion. This was an invasion, disguised as a family visit. And Waken has no idea what he actually unleashed the moment that call connected. Now look at what Beth and Rip just learned. They finally understand why their herd was wiped out. It was not bad luck. It was not disease that came out of nowhere. Cattle were smuggled across the border with no inspection, no quarantine, no warning, and that operation is the exact reason foot and mouth disease tore through everything they built since arriving in Texas. Austin uncovered the truth and handed it directly to them. And once Beth and Rip know something like that, they do not file a complaint. They do not wait for the law. They go straight to the source, the way this family has always handled threats. Beth is sharper than she has been all season. Rip is holding a gun like a man who has finished waiting. That alone tells you this finale is about to turn violent, fast. But here is where it gets even more dangerous. Mariano's arrival does not just threaten Rob Will's grip on the ranch. It threatens Beulah directly. She survived a heart attack. Everett sat beside her hospital bed and promised her something she has not had in decades, a real chance at peace, a life away from every secret and every dangerous decision this ranch has ever forced on her. That moment felt real. It felt like the first time in years she let herself want something simple. But this finale is making one thing brutally clear. Peace was never actually coming for her. The same woman who just accepted a promise of stability is now standing directly in the middle of a collision between Rip and Beth's plan to burn the smuggling operation down, Rob Will's reckless hold on power, and Mariano Reyes standing behind all of it with his name now attached to the title of this very episode. Beulah has openly said the only people she fully trusts right now are Beth and Rip. She has no idea they are the ones quietly working to dismantle the very operation that keeps her empire alive. That gap between what she believes and what is actually happening around her is the most dangerous space in this entire story. And once Mariano makes his move, that gap will not stay hidden much longer. Now think about Rob Will, because the trailer shows us a man who genuinely believes he has already won. Since taking control of the ranch, he has been making bold, aggressive moves, firing loyal hands, pushing dangerous deals, acting like someone who has never actually held real power and has no idea how to hold it without hurting everyone around him. But underneath that confidence, the ground is already shifting beneath him. He knows Waken handed the murder weapon to Sheriff Wade. He knows Beth and Rip are no longer on his side. He knows that no matter what his mother declared publicly, the people around him do not actually accept him as the rightful leader of this ranch. A cornered man holding real power with zero genuine loyalty around him is the most unpredictable combination this story has ever produced. Whatever decision Rob Will makes in this finale is going to force everyone else's hand at exactly the wrong moment. And that brings us to the piece that could break this entire story wide open, the possibility of Waken and Rip finally working together. Waken already gave the sheriff the murder weapon, but without a body, it proves nothing in a court of law. Rip knows something Waken does not. Rip knows exactly where the body is hidden, down in that abandoned mine shaft, and he is the only person in this entire story holding that specific piece of information. If those two pieces ever come together, the weapon and the body, Rob Will's entire position collapses overnight. Every aggressive decision he has made since taking control becomes irrelevant the moment he is facing handcuffs and a murder charge backed by real evidence. But here is the problem building underneath all of it. Getting to that body now means walking through a ranch that is crawling with Mariano's men. And those men did not come to Texas to make anything easier for Rip Wheeler. Mariano has his own plan for exactly what happens to Ten Petal Ranch, and that plan does not include letting anyone interfere with it. So Joaquin made the call that brought this danger to the ranch. Rip is holding the one piece of evidence that could end Rob Will forever, and Mariano is already standing in the way of both of them. When these three collide, who actually walks away still standing? While Joaquin and Rip are racing toward the evidence that could end Rob Will, Beth is quietly building something far more dangerous than anyone on that ranch realizes. The trailer only shows her plan in pieces, and that feels deliberate because her entire strategy only works if nobody sees it coming until it is already too late. She knows everything now, the Mexico connection, the stolen cattle, the exact reason her own herd was destroyed by an operation she had no knowledge of until Austin told her the truth. She has been quietly assembling a case from every piece of that information since the moment she learned it. She is no longer reacting to Rob Will. She is no longer waiting to see what Bula decides or what Mariano does next. She is already several steps ahead of every single person circling this ranch, and the people who think they are in control right now have no idea what is about to hit them from her direction. Now think about Everett, because the trailer does something with his character that completely shifts how we should be reading him heading into this finale. He has spent this entire season being the quiet, steady presence beside Beulah, absorbing her stress, her secrets, and her impossible decisions without ever asking for anything in return. But the trailer shows Everett picking up a gun, and that single image changes everything we thought we knew about him. This is not a man who reaches for a weapon casually. This is a man who has spent years watching violence circle the woman he loves and chose to stay out of it because he believed that was the best way to protect her. Something in this finale has pushed him past that line completely. Something is coming directly for Beulah, and Everett has decided the quiet life he promised her is worth fighting for in the most literal sense possible. Then there is Carter, whose storyline in this finale hits differently than anything else happening around him. He told Rip he would never accept him as a father. He packed his bags and walked away from the only real home he has ever known, convinced he could survive out there on his own. But the world outside those gates was never the adventure he imagined it would be. The trailer shows him crossing paths with people who saw exactly what he was, a young, angry kid with nobody watching out for him, walking straight into danger he was not prepared for. What matters more than the danger itself is what happens when Carter realizes, maybe for the first time with total clarity, that Rip never stopped looking for him. Rip is searching those trails in silence, not because anyone asked him to, but because that is who Rip Wheeler is when it comes to people he loves, even the ones who push him away the hardest. And now for the detail the trailer drops almost casually, but it might be the single most dangerous reveal in the entire finale. Beulah could use what she knows about the Dutton family's darkest past as a weapon against Beth and Rip if she ever feels cornered enough. Beulah has always collected information the way other people collect insurance, kept quiet, kept close, and only used when there is no other option left. If Beth and Rip push her too hard in this finale, she is absolutely capable of turning their own history against them. And if that happens, this stops being a simple war between two families. It becomes something far more destructive, a standoff where both sides are holding weapons that could end the other completely. So picture where every character actually stands right now. Mariano's men are already on the property, and his presence is already reshaping every conversation happening on that ranch. Beth is several steps ahead of everyone, quietly preparing to expose the operation that destroyed her herd. Rip is holding the one piece of evidence that could send Rob Will to prison for the rest of his life. Joaquin has no idea what he unleashed the moment he made that call from the cemetery. Everett is armed and ready to fight for a peace that was never actually promised to him. Carter is out there learning the hardest lesson of his life, unaware that Rip has never stopped searching for him. And Beulah is sitting in the middle of all of it, trusting the two people who are quietly working to burn her empire to the ground. while holding a secret that could destroy them the second she decides to use it. Every single one of these threads is pulling tighter at the exact same time, and none of these people know how close they already are to colliding head-on. Rob Will believes he has already won. Bula believes she is still the most powerful person on that ranch. Mariano believes his operation is still hidden, but the trailer is telling us something none of them have figured out yet. The moment El Padrino steps fully into the light, every single one of those beliefs is about to be proven wrong at the exact same time. So when that collision finally happens, who actually has enough power left to stop it?